What's going on, world? It's your boy Gemini Brown here, back with another episode of Nalo Kicking Knowledge. Today, we'll be discussing Sun in the ninth house. And based on, your personal outlook, the ninth house can be considered the most important house in the horoscope. And we'll discuss why. So, the ninth house represents higher learning. But to me, I really like to look at it as the house of your beliefs. Okay, and this works in conjunction with the second house. Second house is things that you value. All right, and also works with the fourth house because the fourth house is conditioning. All right, now, so it's the house of beliefs. It's the house of culture, long distance travel or pilgrimages, uh, trips, for spiritual gain. Okay, uh, it represents like your teachings, the things you've been taught. All right, and it could be in the sense of religiously, educational. So that's what the higher learning aspect is. And sun is ego, vitality, confidence, life direction, uh, career, the relationship with your father, and so many more things. So let's get into it. First thing you need to know about sun in the ninth house is that your main objective, you're a student here. Depending Despite whatever your sign is, you are a student and you are supposed to go through life and to um, collect insights in different philosophies, different religious systems, different educational things. And everything you learn, you're supposed to take and apply it to enrich your ego and self confidence. Okay, so sun in the ninth is like this. You know, it can be a bit like, and Jupiter, the person's Jupiter is going to be really important because remember, Jupiter is what you believe. It's the knowledge, that you're the wisdom and things that you're gonna receive in this lifetime. So beyond it, we're gonna look at the depositor as well, but you really want to look at the person's Jupiter to see how they feel about philosophy and how they deal with their teachers and things like that. All right. So you, like I said, supposed to go through and collect all this data and use it to enrich yourselves. So Sun in the ninth house is this person who you may grow up with them, right? Say, because this is a lot of different paths. Say you grow up with a person and they weren't religious growing up. They weren't religious growing up, but one, say they go away to college or something, they get recruited and to be in like some religious group. They find God, they get saved. They become a Christian or whatever. Sun in the ninth house is that person who completely changes their who they were before they got this knowledge. So you could have had a badass, you could have had a hellraiser who before they got this knowledge or they got saved, they were that. But once they went into the church, they completely became that church person. Okay, so that's one example. Someone who really takes the information and changes themselves through it. It's all many levels to this, but that's the basis of the idea. Now, I can extend this to I can extend this into culture because culture is a huge part of our existence. I don't deal with race. Race is a social construct, but culture is very much real. All right, culture is passed down through the years, ancestry and things like that. So we could even put it in the sense of, because the next thing with sun in the ninth, right? This can represent a person who wasn't born in this country. This can represent a person who comes to a different country um, later in their life or early in their life, but this is an integral part of their journey. Sun takes this pilgrimage, and in this place that they end up, their life completely changes. They learn things, they learn things, they see a new way of life. All right. So, like I said, this could indicate someone who wasn't born in this country. And so culturally, right? Say we have somebody who was born in Puerto Rico, okay, and they move to the Bronx. All right, they move to the Bronx, and that's New York City. So let's say this person gets here when they're like, I'm gonna say like 10 or 12 because you're still changeable, right? Right before high school and stuff like that. The sun in the ninth takes like they become they change. All right, that person who came here from Puerto Rico, by the time 10 years into living in this new country, they are completely assimilated into the culture. All right, so if they move to the Bronx, they are no longer Jose from Puerto Rico. That's Joey. That's Joey from the Bronx. You get what I'm saying? It's a complete shift in character, and this is through your experience and your culture. All right. So I give you another example of people with sun in the ninth. Um, you'll have a person who, let's say, they're born into um, a religious family, okay, or we'll just have a person who strongly believes something. Okay, so this is the next part. I don't want to lose you. So the next lesson here for sun in the night is that you are to see the singularity or the oneness in all these different facets of life, all these different religions, all these different cultures. You are supposed to see that no matter how different it seems on the outside of how people celebrate or talk or whatever, we're all one at the core. Okay? So, as an example, you can have a person who strongly believes something for a majority of their life. Say they're born into a Christian family or Catholic family, Hindu family, and they're raised a certain way. Especially nowadays with everyone going through their spiritual awakening, you'll be presented with um, something that challenges or opens your eyes to what you've been taught all these years. All right. So a lot of people come into astrology and feel like, oh, religion is bullshit. No, religion is good. It's just not for everybody. If you transition from religion into astrology, you're just growing. All right. But religion is not bad. So for that person who, makes this transition, you are supposed to see the astrotheology within Christianity. All right, you're supposed to make the connections. So you're enlightened in the sense of, okay, I really was a hardcore believer in that, and I just thought if it wasn't this God, it wasn't no God. But you want your task is to really see the truth of things, the singularity within everything. All right. So next thing I want to talk about is like the ability, because the ninth house, original house of Sagittarius and things like that. You're This is the house of mentors and teachers, the things you're taught, right? So with Sun here, father is naturally supposed to be one of your teachers. All right. So we're gonna look at the aspects towards Sun, and whatever other planets are sitting here. This is gonna give us insight to the type of teachers we come across. If you're if your father wasn't in your life, maybe you had a stepfather. I see this a lot. But there's some strong connection. You have somebody there to teach you things, or someone like to confide in, like a wise person. Okay, and the sign ruling the ninth house is going to show the nature of what they teach you. So, say we have Virgo in the ninth house, right? You're gonna come across people, and the things that people really try to teach you are gonna be about the details of life. Okay, the organization of it, like being discriminative, but in a good way. All right, so paying attention to the small things within whatever you do. If it's in you know Scorpio is going to teach you a lot of things. Going to teach you about devotion and like passion and intensity towards whatever you're learning and things like that. So you want to look at the sign, and then the next part with the depositor. So this is going to be important part too. So the depositor is really going to color the house. So let's say this ninth house is in Libra, right? Let's say this ninth house is in Libra and Venus is in Aries. Okay, so let's say Venus is in Aries. You're going to attack. You're going to attack everything you want. Like every new subject you take upon, you're going to start it really, really enthused and be passionate about it. Okay, the the key here would be, since Venus is in Aries, is this impulsive nature. Venus will be passionate about it, but then get bored. So within the ninth house, you're supposed, with your sun would be in Libra, right? So within this ninth house, you would need to find balance in your higher learning. Okay, so we know you'd be motivated to learn something new, but then you'd probably fall off. The key is to stick with it and remain balanced. So like astrology, I tell this to people all the time. You shouldn't be, not that you shouldn't be looking at astrology every day, but like your transits and stuff like that, you sometimes you need to take a break from astrology, man. Like seriously, you gotta let the mind open up and do some other things. So in this example, I'm saying that with Venus, with Libra here, you would need a balanced approach in your studies and the things you believe in. You don't want to go overboard, and you don't want to lack belief. And Venus being in Aries would cause you to have this impulsiveness towards those subjects. So you may start them, but you may not finish them. Okay. So what else? What else I want to say about Sun in the ninth? If I haven't said it, if say you're part of the mutable cross, or say your ascendant is like Pisces, Sagittarius, Gemini, or Virgo, it's very possible that you could relocate. You could relocate because of your work and things like that. Okay, you can, or maybe you're just meant to live in another place. If if you have 12th house, if the sign if the sign connected to the ninth house is in the 12th house, this is a huge indicator um, of that, of relocation. If the sign on the ninth is in the ninth, that as well. If the sign on the ninth is in the 10th, that'll really show career and things like that, will bring you to this relocation point. So that's really important. But overall, travel in this position, you guys, your experience is gonna come through travel. Like I said, the things you learn and the experiences, the adventures you embark on, really are gonna color your experience. So if you take a trip to Africa, that's gonna change your life more than another person, because other people may be going for vacation, but you're going for this spiritual enrichment. So travel is very, very important in this house. But let me just recap. So I said one thing that Sun in the ninth house definitely needs to do is to see the singularity within everything. Okay, study different systems. Okay, and before I forget, if Mercury is in this ninth house and it's like in air, especially, you should be learning another language. You definitely should be learning another language, because this is gonna enrich your cultural drive to experience that even more. But like I said, we want to see the singularity in different systems and different cultures. Uh, we want to take everything that we learn, every experience, and use that to enrich us. Okay, so Take confidence in the things that you know. All right. And overall, oh, I didn't get to talk about racism before we end. I gotta tell you, there's a pitfall in this position. That's why I say you want to pay attention to Jupiter. People are always asking about racism. Racism is strongly connected to the ninth house because, like I said, people, culture, and race, people confuse them. But based on what you've been taught and what you believe and your cultural outlook on the world, this is gonna show how you really feel about people. All right, and so any like Venus like Taurus or Libra here, ruling this house, or Venus's presence in this house is really gonna amplify that in conjunction with Jupiter. All right, because Venus's relationships with people and overall having love for humanity. All right, I'm glad I remember that. So if you ever feel like someone is a racist, okay, or they're really closed minded in their outlook, pay attention to the ninth house in their chart. Okay, I think I covered everything, guys. Career wise, I don't think I covered career. Career wise, it's a toss up. Like I said, the things that you go to learn about, okay, in school is going to be connected to the sign. And overall, barring that Saturn is nowhere near your ninth house or in your fifth house or something like that, the academic success is very much so promised for you. Okay, it's just a matter of continuing to obtain that. All right. So, guys, this is my interpretation of Sun in the ninth house. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, feel free to do so. Until next time, peace.